Hey friends, in today's video, I'm going to provide you with some IELTS writing practice material and 5 easy steps you should follow to write the perfect IELTS writing task 1 letter that will score you a high band. If you want to learn about these, then continue watching because all these steps have helped thousands of my students score a high band in their IELTS writing task 1 section. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Ms. Wafa and I'm a certified English language teacher in Canada. So in the IELTS writing task 1 section for the general exam, you will be required to write a letter. So there are 3 types of letters that you may see, which include informal, semi-formal, or formal letter. So you will be required to write one of these letter types. And within these letter types, they could range from writing a letter to your manager requesting for some time off, or maybe to your landlord complaining about a certain neighbor, or maybe to a best friend who has invited you to the cottage for the weekend. It's very important that you are able to understand that each letter type actually has different types of vocabulary that you should be using. So pretty much a formal letter is usually written to somebody you don't have much relation with. So usually a formal letter is written to a manager, a boss, asking for some time off, or perhaps writing to apply to a job. This would be considered a formal letter. A semi-formal letter is usually written to somebody you know. So a semi-formal letter could be described as written to a landlord complaining about a neighbor. So somebody who knows you, but you still don't, you don't share too much personal information with them. So that would be considered a semi-formal letter. And an informal letter would be somebody you are very dearly close to, like a best friend, your sister, your brother, a roommate that you share lots of personal information with, and you have some sort of friendship with. So these are the three different letter types where you will be required to understand, identify, and then write a letter based on these letter types. So let's take a look at the 5-step process. So the first step is that you need to be able to identify the letter type. So as I mentioned, you'll get one of 3 letter types: formal, informal, or semi-formal. So you need to make sure that you are able to identify the letter type. And if you are not sure how you can identify this letter type, you can check out my video up above. So step 2 is that once you identify the letter type, then you need to take 1 minute to outline what you are going to include in your letter. The reason why I recommend you to take 1 minute to outline the information you're going to include in your letter type is because you will save a lot of time in having to think of ideas to write in your letter while you are writing it. That way, if you quickly jot down a few words in your outline, in your brainstorm, then you know to write certain sentences, certain main ideas, specific ideas in your letter, and you make sure that you include all the different questions that the examiner has asked you to touch upon. Step 3 is that once you write your outline, you need to make sure that you use the right vocabulary that relates to the letter type. So if you are not sure what type of vocabulary words that you should use to show the examiner that you have understood that this letter is a semi-formal letter or a formal letter or an informal letter, then check out my video up above on different vocabulary words you can use in the different letter types throughout your answer. So the 4th step is that make sure you answer all the questions the examiner is looking for. So for the letter, you will usually get like a main question and then sub-questions that you need to make sure you answer in your letter. So you need to make sure you cover all those answers, which is why I recommend you to outline and brainstorm a few words to write about throughout your letter. And step 5 is that you need to make sure you use the right salutation and the right closing in your letter. So what I mean by this is that you need to write dear madam, something show the examiner that you have understood that these type of words are used in this particular letter type. Once again, if you are not sure what type of salutations to use in your letter type, check out my video up above that I have linked, because I provide you with different salutations to use for all the different types of letters that you will be given in this section. So now that you've learned the 5 steps that you should take to write the perfect letter for the IELTS Writing Task 1 section, so now let's take a look at a particular website that I have found for you guys to help you improve your IELTS writing skills. So if you take a look at the website, they will give you a question on the IELTS Writing Task 1 General, and you will be able to write an answer for the given question. And when you hit OK, you will be given feedback on the question you just typed up. This is a great tool for you to get an idea of how you are doing, and without having to hire a tutor or a coach to prepare for the IELTS exam. So instead of telling you about the website, I've decided to make a video on how exactly to use the website. So you go to writeanimprove.com, and once you get there, you actually scroll down to learners, and you see here it says use the free tool without registering or creating a profile. So what you have to do is hit find out more, and then you scroll down to start writing. Once you hit start writing, you will be given a prompt where you can choose which IELTS exam you are preparing for. So for example, since we're talking about the general training letter, we will hit general training. And then once you go to general training, you will see that there are different levels that you can start writing in. So for the general training, you could go to beginner, intermediate, advanced, business, or you could hit just for fun to practice some different ones. So for the sake of this video, we will go to helping the community. Once you hit helping the community, you can actually write you can write up a sample letter based on task 1. So what you do is you start writing here, and prior to start writing, you can actually to simulate a real mock test, you could start the timer and time yourself for 20 minutes. So you will be given feedback once you hit check, but you should write at least 150 words, because that is what the examiner will be looking for. Once you give your answer, you will be given feedback, and you could make the changes in the feedback provided. Guys, I think this is an amazing website for you and such a money saver. There is no point in paying for IELTS classes when there's so many great tools available online. So all you have to do, once again, when you are done this and you want to practice another one, you can hit another topic, a request, a complaint, problems with neighbors. They're all right down here. Your English studies, applying for a loan. You can find all of these different topics right in here, and all you literally have to do is click it. All you have to do is click it, and I guess you have to register for an account, but it's free, and you will be able to use these different IELTS Writing Task 1 mock tests. And like I said, you can prepare for both the IELTS Writing Task 1 and Task 2 with these different mock tests. They're all included here. So all you would have to do is choose that you are doing the Task 1. So if you see here, the same topic for task 1 of helping the community you can click the task 2 and it will be changed to a task 2 question. What better than this? I highly recommend you guys to use this website. And if you like this information, please like this video, and I will be sure to share so many more great free tools with you to help you prepare for your IELTS exam. And let all your friends and families know about this website, because I think it's a great website for you to prepare for your IELTS writing exam. So guys, if you like this video and the information I have provided you today, then please like my video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I put out content every Friday with tips and strategies on all the different parts of the IELTS exam. And also, please check out my website at eslwords.com, where I've written lots of great articles on all the different parts of the IELTS exam. And last but not least, guys, before I sign off, I'm going to leave you with this video on how to write the perfect essay for IELTS Writing Task 2 that will help you score a high band. These are 5 simple, easy steps, so make sure you check out this video before you go.